My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of the 2003 remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And some people love this movie. Like, I've seen people call it the best of the franchise, and I really do not understand that. I think it's serviceable, it's fine, but far from greatness. But let's begin talking about the cast, and Jessica Biel, I think, does a pretty good job. She's not given much to work with in the first half, but in the second half, she has much more material and she's able to rise to the occasion. So I was impressed by her. I thought Lee Emery was very good here. I have issues with the writing behind his character, but his performance itself was very good. Jonathan Tucker, Erica Leosin, Eric Barfa, and Mike Vogel are just given nothing to work with. These characters are as bland and as generic as they come. And there's nothing these actors could have done to elevate them. They don't lean into the cliches enough, and it feels like they only tried to develop them in the first 5 minutes, and then they just stopped trying. And as a result, I was never invested in what was going on with them. So, some really bad characters here. The direction by Marcus Nasport, I'm very mixed on because I do think there's some impressive camera work. That scene when the camera's moving to the back of the van is very cool. And this movie looks like shit in the best way possible. Like, it looks shit stained. It looks like piss. It looks dirty, gross, grimy, and it fits the tone of this movie incredibly well. My issue comes from the lack of energy. This movie is 96 minutes and it drags, and I felt it. I really wish he brought a bit more momentum to this movie, and I also think this movie could have been more tense and more thrilling. For the first hour, I was just kind of checked out. The movie does pick up in the last act, and that's the movie at its very best, because that's when it got more focused, that's when stuff was happening, but up until that point, I found it to be really rough, with the exception of the scene where the one dude caused for Leatherface by knocking on the wood. That was great. I also don't like it when the heroes are so helplessly outmatched the entire movie and nothing good happens. There just comes a point where you kind of tune out because what's the point? The heroes are just going to die anyways, and I feel like you need to strike a proper balance that this movie isn't able to do until the end. So that's a big issue. What else can I say? Lots of this movie feels very unconvincing. It feels contrived in that I don't believe the characters would act the way they do. It felt like they were trying too hard. But I do appreciate the fact there's no supper table scene in this movie. I've watched 4 movies recently with the supper table scene. So it's a breath of fresh air. It's not included in this movie. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. I'm kind of mixed on it because I do like the last act. I do think it has good elements to it, but the characters are weak. Some of the filmmaking is weak. It can drag. I feel like they needed to strike a proper balance between the heroes being victims and them coming out on top. I just feel like this movie is just one giant mixed bag. It's not terrible, but it's far from the best. So I'll give the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre a 5 out of 10. Okay, have you seen the 2003 remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin, out.